Good morning, everybody. Today, we've got a little snow left. There was a little dusting that came through yesterday, and it's melting off. Go take my walk with Bailey. So, today, we ordered our chickens and our ducks and a goose. I'm going to be getting a variety of chickens. I think I got 3 varieties. I need to go look at my list again, but I think I got 3 varieties. I'm going to do, come on Bailey. I'm going to do Buff Orpington. I'm going to do Blue Laced Wyandottes and regular Wyandottes. And the goose, I'm picking a straight run goose, so they're going to pick the breed. I'm really not going to pick the breed. I just requested that I have one that is not super aggressive and not a goose that hates people. And I think you kind of do that with you know, how they are as babies and how much time you spend with them. Ooh, there's a little more snow back here. Come on, Bailey. So, walking behind the shed over here, we're gonna probably start staking out our fence for the chickens. And right here next to this tree, I've got to order our electric fence and the little solar box that goes with it. It's about 30 out here, 32, and it feels like temperature is around, I think 20. The wind's a little cold. We did work on the barn. You'll find that on my husband's channel. We did work more on it. And I think what's left in there is going to compromise the stability of that, and we don't want to have it fall on us. So our next debate is either hiring a crew to take the tent off or knocking it down and taking it off. We think they've nailed it. They didn't screw it down. We think it's been nailed. But my husband wants some of the interior wood still at the top. The rafters are still all good. So I've been researching a lot about, you know, taking care of chickens. And yes, I've watched some videos on YouTube, but I think some of my questions are kind of dumb because they're not being answered. And I guess I could reach out to somebody on YouTube that has animals, but you ever felt like you're going to ask a stupid question and you really don't know how it's going to come off? Because with YouTube, there's no body language, no voice inflection, there's nothing, right? So, you know, I'm seeing a lot of people fermenting food, and I know my grandparents didn't do that. We threw food on the ground and they pecked at it. I remember one time overfeeding my grandfather's chickens, and he was so mad. I don't think he ever got that mad at me before or even after that. I didn't really realize you can overfeed chickens. Or at least that's the impression he left me. He was just very upset that in his mind I had wasted a whole bunch of feed. And he was just livid. And I really just thought they were starving. I think I was like 7 or 8 years old. And I really wanted them to have as much as they wanted. Come on, Bailey. So, and then I wanted to know, what was the other question I was going to ask? I wanted to know if we should build a covered run to the pond. Because, you know, I'm seeing a lot of information not on YouTube necessarily, but blogs I'm reading and information about ducks, is the ones that can't truly fly have a hard time getting away from like hawks and things. And the hawks will even grab them in the pond. So I'm a little nervous about that. I think there's some ice over here on the pond. Come on, Bailey. Oh. She is wanting to smell every single hole everywhere. While we haven't seen armadillos lately, we know they're out here. Yeah, there's ice and snow on the pond. And the sun will start to melt some of that. So, and I had a few other questions like, you know, are automatic doors necessary? You know, there's a lot of information about how to keep raccoons and how to keep foxes and coyotes and all the bigger prey out of your chicken house. There's not a lot of information on how to keep snakes out. Around here, everybody controls snakes up against their house with a product called sulfur. And I'll show you at the end of the video what that looks like. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of that or not, but all the locals here have told us that you go buy sulfur at the feed store and you put it around wherever you don't want snakes to be. So we have a bag of that, but I don't know if chickens can eat sulfur. And if you put it on the ground around them, is that, you know, something healthy or not? I don't know. So those kind of questions, while they're not super stupid, I've not found the information. So maybe there's not a video out there with any kind of detail. I watch a YouTube channel that I kind of like. It's called Big Pond Farm. And this gentleman has a lot, about the same amount of acreage we do, and he's got a big pond like we do. And obviously he has ducks and chickens, but he keeps them separated. Because I'm reading a lot of information about the pros and cons about keeping them together and separated. I think while they're small, we're going to keep them together, but we will probably end up separating them. Because I'm not going to have as many ducks as chickens. So I will be trying to research that information if anybody has any more information. I know you can use duck eggs for baking, and I plan to do that because I know a lot of the big bakeries in Dallas use duck eggs. I have found that out. I have a friend who works at a big commercial bakery, and they use duck eggs. It makes your cakes and everything that you're baking really rich and fluffy. So anyway, we got all that stuff ordered. I am only going to feed mine organic as much as I can. And I mean, that will be my automatic order, you know. We can never predict our life situations. My husband and I try our best to eat as much organic as possible. But I really think the labels of organic are going to become real muddy water as everybody goes to that. And then there's, you know, more and more trend on organic becoming popular. You know, one of the reasons that you can't, the big, large commercial companies don't use organic ingredients is because they can't mass produce them quickly. And if the entire United States decided that they were going to go organic, we would have a slow run of vegetation and foods, and we would have a lot of crops die, etc., because of pests. And then you need the pests because they're obviously there for a purpose. One controls the other, one eats the other, and that, and this and that. But having clean food is certainly important to my husband and I. We want to do our very best to offer organic. My dog, but both of my dogs, my other dog before he went to live with my son, you know, that's really how I came about learning about cleaner food, was when he was so sick and I had to strip his food down to just nothing put him on a raw diet. So anyway, it was a learning experience, and then it translated into, wow, if they're doing this to pet food, what are they doing to our real food? And of course that was, you know, part of my transition into knowing and learning about cleaner food. So dog food for us, we don't spend we spend more money on dog food than we've ever have, and it was certainly a bigger expense when I had 2 dogs. But one bag of this dog's food, and she's at the end of her life cycle, you know, it runs into the $50 and $60 range, because I demand to feed infused raw and organic dog food, because I really want her to have a good quality life and as less health problems as possible. And the regular dog food that you're buying is baked at 650 degrees, and it actually obliterates any nutritional value. Your dog is just basically eating fillers, and, you know, you're feeding them McDonald's basically every day. And, you know, I didn't just believe everything I read on the internet. I made phone calls and I researched a lot of information when I was trying to get my dog healed. And then directly after that, my husband, you know, learned that he had stomach cancer, or the beginnings of that, and his doctor told me to take Bill off every single unclean or processed food ever to get him well. And we have had clean reports on Bill since we've done that. So we're big believers in clean food. I plan to grow organic. I do use insecticides. I have used them for this cabin because this cabin has been empty for so long. And I've been, you know, making sure that we're not bombarded in our beds with bugs and scorpions, and I've killed snakes in there, scorpions. We have no roaches at all. But there are spiders, and then I'm facing the millipedes one part of the year, and then these Japanese lady beetles the other part of the year. So, and I think that's going to come with us remodeling. Putting in new windows that are sealed. There's no caulking around this cabin. And you can stand in certain areas of the cabin and feel cold air just blowing through. So we know it's not an efficiently built cabin. It wasn't built for full-time living. It was built for weekenders. So, anyway, I wanted to let you guys know that I ordered our animals that we're going to get so far. And we'll see how the year progresses and how we do and how much time is involved. I will add automatic feeders and different things as I feel necessary, or that's going to help me take care of them better. I think I'm going to have a chickshaw and a chicken house because I want to be able to move them around on the pasture, but I also want them to have a mainstay, a place, you know, that they know is a home. So anyway, well, that's the update. We're going to get them the chickens come the week of April 23rd, and the ducks will come right before or right after that. And I think this little shop that I've not finished yet, it has a propane heater in there, and I've bought a light for the brooder box, and I'm going to be, I think that the information I read said that you have to keep them at 95 degrees for the first week, and then you lower the temperature 1 degree. So I think I've got most of my information I need. There's a few scraggly questions that I have no idea. And everybody you ask, you're going to get a different answer from. We're going to mail order our food for now because of the type of food I want to give them. I think after they're able to eat better, I'm going to put them on a fermented food to see how that actually works. I won't be putting cat food or dog food in my chicken feed. I saw a YouTuber do that recently. Wow. I would never put cat food or dog food. Not to say that's wrong, I just wouldn't. A chicken's digestive system is not the same as a dog's, and a dog's is not the same as a human. So I would not do that. And most of the dog food, even though relatively you can get it relatively small, is not small enough for a chicken for it to pass through its gizzard. It really would sit in that gizzard for a while until it, you know. Anyway. So yeah, you can learn a lot of stuff on YouTube, but you really have to do your own research, your own information, and drive at your own conclusion. So, anyway, I hope everybody has a blessed week, a blessed day, and I will see you on the next video. Everybody, have a great day. Okay, here is the sulfur that all of our neighbors are saying to put around our place. Keep snakes out.